What's going on, everyone? From LowKick MMA, my name is Dane Podolsky. I am joined with Cody Durden. He is set to fight Tagir Ulanbekov at UFC 296 in Vegas. Cody, thank you so much for taking the time.
No problem, man. No problem, man. Appreciate it.
First off, how this fight come together, and for you, how has training been going?
And it's been great. The fight came together, I guess, the end of September. Uh, I put my name in the hat to fight Tasura Terra on October 14th on 2 week notice. His opponent pulled out, and they ended up declining the fight. And Mick countered back like, "Hey, we got going back off in December, UFC 296 if you wanna get in there and fight him." Like, let me talk to my coaches, let's see. And I ended up looking him up. He's ranked number 12, I think, at the time. And yeah, man, so we took it. I don't really turn down fights. And been in camp a long time. I'm ready to get in there next weekend.
So, have you gotten to watch the previous footage on Ulanbekov, and what gives you the advantage over him?
I've watched some footage, not a whole lot. I try to look at his tendencies, but most of all, I just focus on myself and getting better. And you can tell from my previous fights, I've definitely improved. So, but there's a lot of holes in his game that we're going to explore. And man, I've never been more confident, more ready. It's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, you talk about that improvement. That's been evident, and you were actually just added to the rankings. You are now the 15th ranked bantamweight as of Tuesday. What kind of motivation does that give you?
Man, it's cool and all, but I'm not satisfied. I know where I belong, and I know where I'm going, and it's to the top of the division. I just want so much more. I do a lot, and I do a lot of training, but I just feel like I don't enough, and that's just my attitude and my mentality. You know, uh, I don't want to do anything half-ass. I want to make it to the top of the division. I want to get paid and make some good money, man.
Yeah. And I also point out, you're on this big winning streak, and yet you were an underdog against Charles Johnson. You were an underdog against Jake Hadley. You were an underdog against Carlos Mota. You're an underdog once again against Ulanbekov. Those three fights, those are all fights that you won and dominated. Do you kind of relish being that underdog role, or do you not really pay attention to the lines?
I mean, I watch them, but uh, I like it, man. I like being the underdog. You know, the 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 pressure's not really on me, I suppose. The pressure's on him when you're a favorite, you're supposed to win. And I think stylistically this is a great fight for me. You know, I'm great at takedowns. I have great guillotine defense. Uh I think he's coming in there to wrestle, and I'm coming in there to see blood, for violence. And compared to my other opponents, I think I fought way better fighters than him. I fought Chris Gutierrez and got a draw with him. I fought Makayev Muhammad. Granted, I lost to Jimmy Flick, but I was out striking him 47-7. I had a torn ACL, a broke toe, pink eye. I had a whole bunch of shit wrong with me when I fought him. I should have never fought, but I had to fight. I needed the money. So uh, that was 3 years ago, though. And yeah, I think I'm better, man. That's the coolest thing about this sport. You get to find out next weekend.
We've seen how dominant your wrestling has been in the last few fights. But you're facing strikers. You're now facing a wrestler. Are we planning on seeing more of your striking in this fight?
Uh Maybe it's possible, but I mean, I don't think he can hang with me wrestling either. There's I train with killers. I train with Pantoja, Adriano Moraes. I train with the best of the best, and uh, I just don't see him, holding me down, even if he gets a takedown. So what? You know, What happens if I get on top of him first? I'm comfortable with the fight anywhere. I got power in my hands. I've knocked down a few opponents. I got 6 knockouts or six TKOs, 5 submissions, 8 first round finishes, and the most important thing to me is I'm healthy, and that's what I am. I'm healthy, so there's no excuses this fight. It's kill or be killed, violence, and I want to see blood. That's what I'm coming for.
Ulanbekov is ranked 13th. If you win this fight, you're just going to continue to go up that rankings. Let's say all goes well and you beat Ulanbekov. What are your long-term goals by the end of next year?
Man, get close to top 5. Slowly climb the rankings until I can't be denied. I'm 5-2-1 in the UFC. I should be, I should have beat Jimmy Flick one back in the day. I'm clearly a better fighter than him, and I should have 1 draw and 1 loss on my record instead of 2. Man, look at the guys. Amir Albazi, he's 5-0 in the UFC. The best opponent he's fought was Kai France, and he won a split decision. What ranked opponents has he beat? Now he's ranked number 2. You know, uh, who else? Brandon Royval, he's 5-2 in the division as well. But I think he's fought solid competition, the top of the division. Man, I got a lot of wins. I got some good wins in the division, and I got some good fights in the division, and I just can't wait to see how it all plays out.
Do you feel like you're overlooked at all?
100%, 100%, man. That's exactly what I was looking for. I'm overlooked. You got Sue Mandaru, can't grapple to save his life. He's trained at American Top Team too. He can't grapple to save his life, and he's a great striker. But he's 3-2 in the division, and he's ranked what, number 12, 11. You got Alex Perez in the division. He's pulled out of 9 fights in the last 3 years or something like that. He's still ranked number 7. It's I just feel like I got a lot to prove, and next weekend I get to prove it all.
And you're also fighting on a card where the belt in your division is going to be on the line. Being on the prelims of that card, do you want to kind of make a statement to show to those top guys? I know you say you train at Pantoja, but to show to Royval and Pantoja, I'm a contender. And then also give me your prediction for that fight.
Man, I got Pantoja via submission. I think it's going to be a little harder fight for him than it was the first time. But Pantoja's a dog. I trained with him this whole fight camp the last 6 weeks, and that's my teammate, man. I'm cheering him on. I hope he finishes him, and I know he can finish him. The card's gonna be great, man. And Ulanbekov is a great opponent. As I look at him and I look at most of the guys in the division, I think he's up the skill level that he has is a lot better than some of the guys in front of him.
So you're training down at ATT in Coconut Creek. How has that helped you for this camp, and who have been your main training partners? You mentioned Pantoja. Who else?
I did a lot of sparring with Adriano Morez, Sal Guerrero, LFA veteran. Uh, Man, Pedro Munez, worked a lot of stuff with him. Uh, I had a bunch of training partners, a bunch of guys that people just don't know about that are just great. I did a lot of wrestling with Francis Marshall as well. He's a 145er in the UFC. Um, but yeah, I mean, also, beginning of October, I went to Vegas for 2 weeks with Rob Font and Calvin Cater. We stayed in an Airbnb and just grinded for 2 weeks straight. So since the beginning of October, man, I've done nothing but grind. I've probably pushed myself harder than I should, but for the most part, I didn't really get injured, so I'm happy.
You went to Nashville last time. You're heading out to Vegas. are you hoping to get on a card in Atlanta, your hometown at some point in the future?
Man, let's go. I mean, I don't know when they're coming back. I don't know why they haven't came back, but it needs to happen. We need to get a card in Atlanta again. I think the last card was 2016. I'm not sure, but it's been a while. We need to get a card in Atlanta, 100%. And I want to be on it. That's my hometown people.
I do want to ask too, you faced a lot of backlash after your fight with Arichi Lang for sort of the comments you made afterwards. Talk to me about that backlash you faced, and do you stand by those statements?
Well, the dude's from China, bro. Like he's not from Illinois. He's not a immigrant that lives in Illinois or in the United States. He's from China. I just said I have to send him back to China. Like, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? Now if he was an American citizen and he was his origin was Chinese and I said that'd be a little fucked up, but that's not what I meant, you know what I mean? And the people that love me, the people that know me, they know what type of person I am, it is what it is. I mean, if you took it the wrong way, that's on you. Hasn't affected my pockets any.
Fair enough. I think the reason for the backlash was just given the context of the fight where you guys were kind of going back and forth with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But man, that was so long ago. I don't even really think about that. I A lot of people wanted to cancel me, and give their opinion and shit, and they don't even know me. You know what I mean? They're calling me racist and all this stuff, and one of my best friends that actually trains at Coconut Creek, he was living with me. He's a black guy. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna call me racist, and dude, I love people for who they are. I don't care about the color of your skin. You know, that's ridiculous.
Fair enough. Well, looking ahead, um, to your card, headlined by Leon and Colby. I see in the background there you got your fights going on. How do you see that main event between Leon and Colby playing out?
Yeah, yeah, I was watching actually the countdown to UFC 296, man. I'm pretty fascinated with the whole card and with I'm a fight fan too, man. I watch all the fights. I try to, when I don't have much going on, but I try to set my schedule aside for Saturday nights to watch the fights. But Colby versus Leon. It's so intriguing, because we've seen Leon fight guys at their best, and we've seen Colby, he's great fighter, but he hasn't, like his last fight, Jorge Masvidal, he's a Jorge Masvidal, he's not a wrestler, he's a striker, and I just don't see Colby doing what he did to Masvidal to Leon. I don't see him holding him down. I don't see him just taking him down and grinding him out. It's gonna be a tough fight. Can Colby get it done? Yes, I think he can. But it's going to be a very high competitive fight, I believe.
Well, Cody, thank you so much for taking the time. My final question, December 16th, Cody Durden, Tagir Ulanbekov. Cody, give me your official prediction.
Man, my prediction is my hand raised, I don't know how, but by any means possible. If I have to bite his ear off, I will. But it's going to be a great fight, and looking forward to standing with Joe Rogan, and I idolize that man. He's great, and looking forward to meeting Donald Trump.
Fair enough. Well, Cody, I'm wishing you the best of luck. If there are any socials, teammates you want to shout out, platform is yours, my man.
Man, shout out to my main sponsor, Barber Orthopedics and Fathletic Apparel, Tried Mechanical, and all my fans, supporters that are with me. I appreciate you all, and hit me up on IG. I love to talk to all my supporters and fans, and let's go, baby. Tune in. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Of course. Awesome. Cody, thank you so much for taking the time. Guys, Cody Durden is set to return at UFC 296. He faces Tagir Ulanbekov. You won't want to miss this fight between ranked flyweights. Cody, best of luck to you.
Thank you, bro. Have a wonderful weekend. All right.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.